everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video we are starting the spring harvest. So we are literally just about to head off to cut spring barley. So Father Phil is in the combine there behind me. I have the header on the 6270 and we're going to bale on down the road to the field, ready to cut. Coming on fast behind me, so we will bale on to the field. And we eventually made it to the field. Go around and pick up all these. So we're in the sand pit, so we were here before with the camera and we're looking at our crops where we had that substantial crow damage inside the gap. But we've eventually made it here. Took us a while now. We're not very far from home, but we were about 30 minutes stuck on a narrow stretch of road where we just like cars at wrong spot. So that held us up quite a lot now. Say Father, it'll be good with Father Phil now. But anyways, we get the header on and we get cutting. On. Press the header on, just like that. So this is our winter barley. So this was sown broadcast, shook into the ground, hard in. You should remember because we sowed then the spring oats that side. So this is sprayed off. How long is it sprayed off? Nearly 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks tomorrow. So it's lovely and dry. Nice plump head of grain, nice size head. Should yield okay, shouldn't be too bad. Only a small bit gone down inside the gate here. But no, not too bad now. So my job now is to leave the header trailer here, go back, bring up a grain trailer and leave another tractor and trailer ready for Bro. When he gets home from school, then he's going to start drawing grain. It is 2:30 now, so we started after dinner because it was quite a heavy dew and we had rain yesterday. But it should be around 18% moisture, maybe a little bit drier now. It's been quite a good morning, lovely, hot, warm, good old breeze out there at the minute. Hopefully, a few minutes.
123 acres.
123 acres cut now.
We have to cut.
That's including barley and oats.
Barley, oats and Georges.
Starting to go into it there now. Moisture sample. Should be on 7.2, yeah, barley. .5. 15.5, so that's perfect. Probably a bit logged over here, but not as much as other years.
Oh, no.
Yeah, cutting away now. Woo! Thirsty. Lovely crop of straw. That seems to be doing quite well. That straw, a little bit of a coldness in it, but not bad. Check combine should be cleaning very well. So was the last day. Nothing really there worth talking about. The rate that tank is filling there, he's not gone very far. I think we'll be back with the trailer. So well, that seems to be yielding very, very well now in the first bit of the field. So lovely Lovely thick crop of barley. It's in great order there now. Is the moisture content of the grain at 15.5%. That is perfect. Once you get it, the aim is under 18. At 18%, it'll just about keep. You don't want to stack it too high. By 18, you're fairly safe. 16, under 16, perfect. You keep 100%. So we'll tip that in front of the winter barley. The winter barley come in at 14%, so it's perfect. We were afraid that if we were on the higher side, we'd have to keep them separate, but that moisture, so the hue of the dust across the field there. We also, not alone have we this going on, but it's only myself and himself. Bro is at school. Liv is busy editing videos at the minute, but she'll be coming to give me a hand later. But we also have 15 acres of baling for ourselves, which we'll probably be at that later on tonight. I'll show you that. I want to show you a few things that we've done. Red clovers mowed again for the second time. I'll show you them as well. But for now, I have to bail on this sassy and get a trailer down. Literally here, my father Phil has stopped, which probably means he's full. So I didn't get here back in time and use them a bit too much to one side. It's always a thing. It's never like just straight down under Dogger. It throws it out from Dogger about 2 or 3 foot. It always throws you out. Not bad now. I think he's just on the 3rd round of the field, and he's the first full of the combine. The combine holds a lot of stuff now. It's bloody dusty too. Back in the yard now, so have to get the tether put away taken off so that Eric can draw it to 6290 when he gets home. Was going to take off the mowers, but more mowing has come in for morning, so we'll leave them on the 99 C6V6. We have to take that off, and then I have to leave this the 6270 ready for Liv with the bale handler to bring in the bales later on. And I also have to get the red clover road too. So yeah, busy. Right, we go for the second time. Well, we go put away the tether because we think we're finished. We don't think there's any more to do. So we'll bring it up and put it in the back of the shed, out of the way, to be forgotten about till next year. So anyways, we'll be on. That's 6290 left ready for bro. He should be back now. So now I'm going to go off in the 3075 and row up the red clover, so it gets an extra few hours of wilting before I get baled out later on this evening. Then I'll go bale the straw to 7618. Father Phil was just in the yard. He's a stone stuck in the header, so that's fun too. So hopefully they'll have it sorted by the time I get to them. I'll be about another hour, I'd say, before I get down there to get baling. So it shouldn't be too bad. Bit higgledy-piggledy running back and forth getting stuff done. So you're probably wondering what we're at this morning. Am I getting to these jobs now? We were just cleaning out the grain shed as we had meal tipped in it, so getting that done. And Father Phil was just finishing up. He was just servicing the combine this morning. We couldn't have been cutting any earlier because we were waiting for the dew to dry off, and there was a bit of rain yesterday too to dry off it. So he was washing radiators and just giving her a bit of a wash and washing windows and cleaning the air filter and all that good stuff. I'm going off in the 3075 and we are on skinny wheels. Yeah, still having them changed. It probably won't get changed till the day feeder goes back on, because we're using this tractor to spray the potatoes. I can't remember if he's finished spraying or not with this, so just have to be careful where you go. The skinny wheels don't have a heck of a lot of tread in them. Wouldn't take a lot to sink her. Anyways, where I'm going is sound, but we'll go get a bit of raking done. So just out here, show you before I start. So it has wilted very well. So, but still, the underside of it is, that's actually rank green, that. It's very wet, that. Bit of a funny smell to it. When we mowed it, the clover smells very funny. But what we'll be doing is rowing that, and by rowing that, we're going to be turning all this, and then that's going to let this bit that hasn't dried dry for 2 or 3 hours, whatever it takes till I get back to bale it, and that's going to just leave it a little bit better wilted. It doesn't actually look that heavy, but there was quite a bit of stuff on it, and you can see some of the flowers there. So at about, I'd say about 60 to 70% of the red clover had flowered, about 20% had gone to seed. So that's roughly speaking where it was. And the reason, we'd have probably left it for maybe another week or two, and that goes for all of the 15 acres of, roughly speaking, of what we have to bale. But we applied for there was a scheme, it's a, what's it called, it's a fodder scheme to get farmers to cut more grass just in case there would be a shortage of fodder this winter. So we applied to that scheme, and the closing date, or the date you had to have it all cut by, is the 4th of September, if I remember rightly. To have it all cut by the 4th of September, the way the forecast was looking was going to leave it in the rain. With the combining going on, we says we better get this done now when we're not too busy. Hence, we went and we done it. Now we mowed it all, so I was still a week from the 4th, but we reckon with just how busy we're going to be with the combine, we want to get out of the way at the start of the week. So this has been down Saturday, so now Monday, so it's down 48 hours, but the other fields are all grouped. So I want to see how that worked, grouping it, leaving it, and see was there much of a wilt on it. It just saves me time. We didn't group this because we wanted, as with the last red clover, we need to get as much of a wilt on it as we can to dry it out so that it preserves well, because the red clover is full of nitrogen naturally because of how it operates, fixing nitrogen. So anyways, I've just organised myself now. I haven't rowed in quite some time. Ro's been doing it all, so so anyways, we are raking. And we are missing 2 tine arms, one each side. One mysteriously bent into an ass. Eric says it just got stuck in the ground, but I have no idea. And the other side, the clip come off the last day we were working, as you would have seen. So we get this rode up, and we let it wilt out another bit before we come back and bale it. But one thing I have to say, there's some regrowth on that grass for the 2 days. There seems to be some regrowth on it now, super regrowth. Pay attention to what I'm doing. We're not bending any more arms. Now, we're in the 7618. Time to go baling. Still has a new tractor smell to it, so it has. Still has it. We are slight change in plans. I thought I was going to be going on to bale straw, but that plan has changed. Just turn that's not blowing too hard. So we're going on to bale our own silage now, and we'll go bale the straw tomorrow. If it was going to be one or the other, there's no sign of any rain, so the straw is going to be okay. It's going to be a little bit drier if it's left, whereas the silage, we'll just get that done and out of the way, and it won't bother us again. And with the 15 acres we have down, that should be enough, give us enough silage then, hopefully for the winter, along with our fodder rape. Kind of hoping around the 80, 100 bale mark. I'd say probably closer to 80. Some of it is an over heavy now. Where we're starting is going to be the lightest, but we've other bits to bale. But anyways, we orange lights out, so it's time to bale onto the field and go baling in the 7618. And also Liv is in the 6270. Ready and raring to go, stack bales after me. Just on that, we will be bringing all our bales back. We'll be stacking them into that corner there where that bit of sand is on the wheel and the mold plows. They'll be all stacked in there. I have it half cleaned, so I was at this morning too. So we're going to get George to bring back the bales first. If we have time, we'll give him a hand. We'll get done over the next few days. We'll get all the bales we've made back, including the red clover the last time. And I think we've baled on 2 other occasions, we've baled up spots. So we should be putting in somewhere around, depending on how many bales we get back this time, somewhere around between 150 and 170 bales going into that corner. So that should leave us fairly safe. And we should have then enough silage. Our bales of silage should work perfectly for feeding cattle, if we do feed them out on the rape or not, whether we have them in the shed. That's all yet to be decided. But it should leave us pretty safe for the winter now, hopefully. But anyways, we bale on and we get some bale in them. So we're here in the first spot, and as you can see, there's not a lot on it. It got slurry. We didn't put any bag manure on it, but we put slurry on it, and that's all it got. But what I'm interested in seeing now with this, yeah, it'll probably be fine, but in our heavier, the other two fields we have that are much heavier, to see is there enough wilt in the group sward in 2 days that you wouldn't have to leave it out. So with this here, it's quite good. Like on top, she's perfect. Underneath, you know, still fresh enough, like it's not too bad. But maybe I'll explain the reason for that, why I'm thinking about it when we get to a heavier crop, because what's here is light now. It's, yeah, not great, but it is what it is. Yes, we're loaded up around. This is slightly heavier crop here, still not over heavy. The best place is at home. I probably should been so the reason I wanted to see was, or what I didn't mention the last bit was, I wanted to see what the wilt would be like grouping the sward, see how the baler would handle it, but I also, instead of throwing everything on top of the middle sward with the groupers, I kind of wanted it that you had one sward kind of landing there, kind of middle, leaving it wide, like I done for the contractor when I was mowing the whole crop. I wanted to leave it wide to get the maximum amount of wilt, and that's not bad now. It's still a bit fresh underneath, but like, it's not bad amount of wilt. But what do you think? Is that look like an acceptable amount of wilt for a group sward? Let me know in the comments. But we get baling now because Liv is eagerly waiting for me to bale. But the reason I wanted to try it out is for the likes of working for dairy farmers where they mow paddocks quite a bit. Being able to go mow them and group them in the one go saves quite a bit of time, as we don't have to run back with the rake, which saves us time. And not only is it saving us time going back to row up what we've mowed, it also is going to save the farmer money, because, well, you don't have to go back and row it. So the farmer's saving a couple of euro a bale, and we begin the work done a little bit faster. It's just a man less. You mow it and I can go back and bale it 2 days later. So I didn't mow a stripe in the middle there, as we're mowing, this is one of the paddocks, wrap there. We're mowing one of the paddocks ahead of the bulls where we are at the minute. The bulls are going in the next 2 to 3 weeks. All the bulls will be in by the end of September, and we're just trying to gauge how much we could take in front of them, because we had to mow it by the 3rd of September or the 4th of September for that fodder scheme. So that's what we're baling away here, grand. Nice lock of bales coming off it, so there is. The one thing that I'm just driving on the edge of both sides of the sward just constantly there, and it's leaving a little bit behind. Not a lot now. The headland isn't a good place to show because you drove across a mowing, but just leaving a little bit. The other thing too, and just another question, the grouping around the corners. So when you go around the corners mowing, normally people have told me to do was you go around it normally first time, second time you square, or third time you turn back in yourself with the back mower down to catch the bit you missed the first time round. Well, can you do that when you have a group? You just don't think it's good for the mower to run the whole mower through a group sward again. So how do people work the groupers, or do you just sacrifice that bit and that's it? It's just, there's nothing you can do about it. That's because I didn't try and mow, I just mowed around the corner. I left a bit of a mohawk in the corners. Keep baling away here, getting on the finest.
We used to be solid, not falling apart. Things never not okay when you were mine. You used to be honest, not pulling my heartstrings. Every other day you change your mind. Cause when you're high, you call me like I'm lonely. Some kind of little toy for you to wind up when you land in bed and feeling lonely. I'm tired of being deployed like that, getting busier and busier, so disoriented. got me running in a circle. I'm just trying to find my way back to you. What happened to us? Round in a circle. Back where I started, I'm stuck here like glue. You keep me on a loop. I'm just trying to find my way back to you. What happened to us? Round in a circle. Back where I started, I'm stuck here like glue. You keep me on loop.
Just have my lights turned on, the way they're fine. I'm a bit disappointed with how much is on the red clover. It's not going to be 20 bales on it, which is disappointing, but it is what it is. Just to give you an idea of what the lights are like currently on it, wouldn't be what you would call over hectic, any means of the word. So I just, when we're kind of sizing up all the work we want to do with it, I counted all the spotlights and including on an extra 2 on top of the side pillars out there. There's 2 underneath, but 2 more on top. It's coming to 14 spotlights I have to put on it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's going to cost a few pounds. And then that doesn't include changing the headlights, if we can change the headlights, because they're not over hectic now. That's the red clover bales. 17 bales, 3 bales short on the first cut. Bit disappointed, but I was just trying to think to myself, how long has it been growing? And it's about 6 weeks growth, so it is quite short. 6 week growth, roughly. I think we sowed it the 15th of May, we cut it, I think it was the middle of July. It's now the end of August, so yeah, we're looking at about 6 weeks growth. So I suppose it isn't too bad in that regard. What we're going to do next with it, well, we'll probably, when we get these bales moved, which will be moved in the next lot of days, Liv's just going to move all the bales we baled this time into that corner there, and then we'll give a bit of paint on them so we know first cut, second cut. But the bulls will go on and we'll let them graze around the back sword, we'll put some slurry on it and we'll see what happens. I was just thinking to myself, 6 weeks time, are we going to get the same growth? Maybe not, but we'll see how things go. We'll either graze it again come mid-October, or we may bale it again come mid-October, end of October. We'll see what the way weather is, grass situation, all that kind of thing is later on in the year. But anyways, it's time to fold up, bale on to the last field. But my original 70 odd bales I said we're going to have, we're going to be quite a bit short of that. I would reckon about 15 more bales. We'll end up with about 50 bales. So a good bit short than what I thought we were going to have, but you know, it is what it is. Not much you can do about it. We will bait on, get the next bit done. So we're in the last field now. A more respectable amount of grass on this. So there is, not that you can see much, but there's a nice bit more grass on this. And it is quite dusty, so it has wilted out well. This was brooked and everything, and this is more along the lines of what you'd normally be cutting or cutting off paddocks. Let me get this wrapped up. It's starting to get on, so this, and the days are surely drawn in. I think it's about 9:30 at the minute. That's it all baled now, so 50 bales altogether. Not exactly over hectic, but it is what it is. It's 50 more bales than we had yesterday. So I'm going to bale up to the yard. I'll show you the grain that's come in off the field we seen earlier, and I'll go swap with Liv so she can come home, not have her out all night, and I'll go bring in all these bales, and then we'll do it all again tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to be a very busy day with lots and lots of different things going on, but I make a video on that. But anyways, we're going to the yard and we'll show you the barley that come off the combine today. This is the grain that's come back, still in our trailer load to come back, and you can just tell the difference in colour. Winter barley, spring barley. So Liv is just back too. That's it. So that's the grain that was harvested. Lovely plump grain. That's the winter barley. You hardly tell the difference in it. Apart from the coloration, I think the winter barley seed is just slightly longer than the spring barley. Yeah, that's really it. So that's the grain. I know we started the video and I kind of had intended this being the start of the spring harvest, spring corn harvest, but like most things, you cannot make plans because the best made plans are made to fail. I thought I was going to be a great man and get all the baling done, but that wasn't going to happen. So yeah, anyways, tomorrow I'll be filming. Busy day tomorrow. Big square baler will be coming out tomorrow too, so I'm going to film that separately, but I'm going to leave it at that for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, anything like that, as always, hit me down in the comments down below. Anyways, that is it from me. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. That's it from me. Good luck.